What's up, goodies? Welcome back to your girl channel and to my kitchen, how to cook. So I made this delicious vegan chicken bites with garlic butter sauce in the kitchen, and it was so good. I'm ready for showing it all. So make sure you subscribe and turn on your post notifications so you won't miss an upload. Are you ready for cook? Well, come on now, let's cook. Okay, goodies, let's cook. Now we're using our mushroom for this vegan recipe. Now the mushroom that I'm using is called the king oyster mushroom. Now before you start cooking, just be sure that you rinse it on the cold running water, okay? Just give it a nice little rinse. Now as far as how you want to cut it, you could cut it in any size that you so choose, okay? For me, I'm doing bites, chicken bites, so I don't want to do it too big. So this is the way that I'm choosing to cut it. However, once again, you could cut it however you like it, okay? You guys are going to love this recipe because it is not only healthy, but it's filled with nothing but flavor. I'm also going to be adding a link down in the description for those of you guys that are vegan. I'll put a playlist for my vegan recipes down below because I'm sure that a lot of you guys subscribed to my channel back then when I used to make a lot of vegan recipes. As you guys know, I was vegan twice before actually, and reversed. And I promised myself I was going to go back vegan this year, and I still have not done that already yet. And it's already March going into April, okay? But however, it is hard, you guys. It is hard when you're the only one in the house that is a vegan. You know what I mean? Anyway, the link for my recipes will be in the description, as well as the ingredients I'm using here. Now, after you have cut up your mushroom, and again, I'm using the oyster mushroom, you're going to add some salt to it. Then I went in with a little bit of black pepper. And I'm adding some onion powder. You want to be sure that you really season this thing up, okay? And then I'm going to add some garlic powder to it. Now we're going to add some vegetable seasoning here. Now, for some of you guys, you may not have this vegetable seasoning. You can always substitute that out for all-purpose seasoning or complete seasoning or slap your mama seasoning or any other seasonings that is considered an all-purpose season, okay? Then I'm going to add my nutritional yeast flakes here. I'll say I total that maybe about 3 tablespoons of the nutritional yeast, and I'm also going to add some corn starch to it as well. And again, I will put all the ingredients that I use, as much as the amount, down in the description. And it also goes with how much mushroom you're going to make. Like say you're making 4 of these huge oyster mushrooms, then you may want to double up or just season to your liking, okay? Just go ahead and season to your liking. Now you're going to go in and rub all these ingredients together. You want to press in the seasonings into the mushroom as much as you possibly can. Just remember that mushroom does produce a lot of moisture. Now after you've done that, I'm adding some avocado oil. You could always substitute that oil out. Now when you add your oil in, don't press it in anymore with using your hands. Just go ahead and use a spoon or an you know, whatever. Just go ahead and spin it in just like I'm doing here. I'm using my big cooking spoon to do this. All right. And then I'm just going to let it sit for maybe 5 minutes. Now, while that is sitting for 5 minutes, when you fry this thing, you're going to treat it just as if you are cooking regular meat, regular chicken, right? So this is what it's going to look like after you've seasoned. Now, in your pot, I'm using just regular oil here. However, you could use any oil of your liking that you want to fry this thing with. and you could also put it in your deep fryer, but I want to be sure that I show you guys how I'm doing it in my frying pan. Now, as far as your oil is concerned, you want to be sure that your oil is nice and hot. What I did earlier was just add a little bit of the mixture in there and just tip it in there to see if it was frying, and I know that it's ready because it started to fry immediately when I put it in there. If it's not frying, when you test your oil, do not attempt to put these things in, because your mixture, your seasoning is going to fall off of the oyster mushroom. Okay, so just be sure that you're placing these bad boys in oil that is nice and hot, so that way when it hits the oil, it starts to fry immediately. All right, now I'll say maybe a temperature of 350 degrees at least, but you don't want to make it too hot because you don't want to burn it and not having it cook on the inside. That makes sense, right? So I went in and added all of the mushrooms here, and it smells so good, you guys. Oh my goodness. Now all I'm doing here after I've had it in there, I'm allowing it to fry for, I'll say maybe 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes at the most on that side. And my fire, you guys, is at a medium heat. I didn't put it on a high heat because it's going to burn. If you make this stove top too high, your thing is going to burn, okay? And you don't want to go ahead and walk away and leave it either, because it's going to be totally messed up. So stay right there and watch your thing do what it need to do, okay? Just be sure that you're giving the recipe a thumbs up if you're still here. It does support the channel, and it really does support me to grow, okay? So go ahead and thumbs up the videos while you're still here watching. All right, so now after that 2.5 minutes, you want to start to just turn these babies. Just like I'm doing here, turn them on the opposite side and allow it to do what it needs to do on that side as well. Look at that, how that looks really good, you guys. It's nice and it's coming along nice and crispy, but we want this to really crisp really good. Again, reason for that is because mushrooms, it really produces a lot of moisture, and we want this thing to be crisp and really has a nice little chicken flavor going, a little chicken texture. And so you want to make sure that you fry it really well, okay? All right, so now that it's done, as you can see, it's also done on both sides, and it's looking amazing and it's looking fabulous, you guys. Look at that. Now this, you could eat it just like it is. If you don't want to add the garlic butter sauce, you could always just take it out and just eat it up just like that with some French fries or whatever, okay? It is going to be flavorful either way. Now after that couple of minutes on both sides and you fried, what I usually do is go ahead and just start mixing everything together. And I tasted one of them, and believe me guys, it was delish. Like I said, you could always just go ahead and just eat it up just like this, because it's so good. It's so good. So that is perfect. Look at that. That is amazing. It looks really nice. All I'm doing here, I'm just removing them from the pot, and then I'm going to get ready to make my butter sauce, okay? Now butter sauce is very simple, and it has a lot to do with what you add in as far as flavor. Now I added about 4 tablespoons of butter. Now you could add any amount of butter based on how much you're making, but for me, I only wanted 4 tablespoons of butter, and I'm using unsalted butter. I'm adding about a tablespoon of garlic here, but then I love me some garlic, so I added another teaspoon of garlic. I'm using chopped garlic in the bottle, and then I combined these two and allowed it to melt really well, okay? Just allow it to melt, combine a combination of these two. Now, as far as your season is concerned, again, you could use any kind of a season to give it a little bit of push, because you want your butter sauce, of course, to add flavor. So I added some Maggi all-purpose seasoning, and again, you guys, you don't have to use that if you don't have it. And then I added some dried parsley here. You could add fresh parsley if you like, and that is all it takes. You don't have to do anything else. Your butter sauce is complete, you guys. Let me tell you something. If you're eating seafood and you want to make a quick butter sauce, this is all you need to do. If you try the Maggi all-purpose season, you're good to go. Now look at my chicken bites, you guys. That is amazing. And when you pour that butter sauce on top of this, it is so good. It is so amazingly good, and it's filled with so much flavor. I'm telling you guys, this is a quick recipe that you have to try, okay? If you are a vegan, or even if you're not a vegan, you're going to love this recipe. You are going to love it. Not only is it nice and crispy on the outside, but it's so flavorful on the inside. You guys, look at that. Look at that. It is so good. My mouth is watering just by looking at this baby, okay? Look at how the inside of that thing is. That looks like chicken, okay? Chicken. And it's so good. I shared half of it with my daughter, my baby girl, and she loved it. Absolutely, positively loved it. And I'm sure that you are going to love it just the same. Here what? Go ahead and share the recipe with a friend, with a family. Tell them what's going on over here. Bring them come goodie and send them come. I'm waiting. And when they get done doing that, tell them we want to see me cook next time in my kitchen. And remember, as always, from my kitchen to your kitchen, enjoy.